and Glenn is in Utah to celebrate in style. His Man in the Moon event is stirring up some buzz throughout Salt Lake City. Joining us now to give a sneak peek at some of what's in store, best-selling author Brad Thor. It's a pleasure, Mr. Thor. Welcome.
Tara, please call me Brad. It's great to be on with you.
Don't worry, I will. The pleasantries are over now. So Brad, you are involved in this. You've been involved with Glenn in other events. What's different about this one? Tell me about the buzz going on out there in Salt Lake City.
I'll tell you, it is absolutely fantastic. I did Restoring Love with Glenn last year, and I watched his event in Israel. I watched the event at the mall. I am really excited about this. There is, you can't see it, but the hairs are standing up on my arms. There is just this electricity here. This event is so big, and it's so unlike anything Glenn has ever done before. I've been following him on Twitter and just watching all the pictures he's putting out of all the preparations going on. And you combine that with the fact that it's going to be Independence Day, that this is all surrounding this wonderful patriotic moment that we all celebrate and we all care so much about. And it's come together to just, I mean, buzz doesn't even do it justice. I mean, people are all talking. Everybody on the street, do you have tickets? Can I get tickets? It's sold out. Do you know anybody? I mean, it's just amazing. That
is amazing. You know, what Glenn has been able to achieve over the last couple of summers with these gatherings is monumental. He's really making an impact in ways that I don't think anybody ever anticipated. And your participation in things like this comes from your sense of patriotism, you know, the thrillers that you write and the way that you write them and how you embed yourself in with the individuals that you write about. I think that puts you in a unique situation. You have a unique perspective that you bring to these events, which is why you're of like mind. Tell me about your new book. I know you have a new book coming out on July 9th called Hidden Order. What can we have? What's in store for us in that book?
It comes out next week, next Tuesday, and one of the greatest compliments I get paid, and as a matter of fact, Glenn has paid me this compliment, is Glenn says, Brad, when I read your thrillers, I have to do it with my laptop open because I can't believe how much fact is in there. And Glenn coined this term faction, where you can't tell where the facts end and the fiction begins. So first and foremost, I'm an entertainer, Tara. I want to give you that great book in the hand, toes in the sand beach read. I want your heart to be pumping and to give you that white-knuckle thrill ride so that when you finish the book, you say, wow, that was incredible. But if I've done that, I've done my job as an entertainer. Yet if you walk away smarter for having read one of my thrillers, then that's icing on the cake for me. Then I think I've done my job as an American. And Hidden Order is something that I've wanted to write about for 10 years. Something happened to me after 9/11. My wife and I got stranded on the East Coast, and we decided to make the best of it. And we went to a little island off the coast of Georgia. And I don't want to give the plot away, but I learned about something that's been going on in this country for 100 years that affects you, affects me, affects everyone watching every single day. There's an organization more secretive than the NSA, the CIA, and some people claim more powerful than the United States government itself. And I said,
that's a scary thought.
That's that thriller I'm going to write.
That's a scary thought.
It is.
You know, one of my former coworkers, Ray Genoway, he was a huge fan of yours. He always would have a book of yours on his desk at work. And I asked him what was his favorite book, and he said it was The Last Patriot because of the historical references in it. And he wanted me to ask you a question. He wanted to know, have you ever received death threats because of, or from like Muslim, like a fatwa put out on you because of the subject matter that you write about?
Unfortunately, I have. And, you know, I gave Glenn a copy of The Last Patriot before it came out. And Glenn had me on his radio show, and he said, I haven't done this to someone before, but I'm going to do it to you. And Glenn said, Brad, I am begging you, do not publish this book. Don't publish it. He said, if you do, you'll be dead within a year. Now, Glenn has really good ability to see over the horizon, and thankfully he was wrong on that one. That was a few years ago. But it did bring, you know, it's interesting. I always say that I have a right to write whatever I want to write, and it's equaled by a right just as powerful, which is your right not to read it. Yet we have a certain section of the world that doesn't want any criticism, doesn't want any close examination of it, and that's the radical Islamists, and they don't like my books.
Well, thank God that you stand up. Thank God for you, and we appreciate you being a patriot. I'll see you in Salt Lake City, Brad.